Did you know that some of the little things older men do before bedtime can silently make prostate issues worse? If you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, and you're waking up multiple times a night to pee, feeling that tight pressure low in your belly, or just sensing that something isn't quite right down there, you're not alone. As someone who's spent years listening to older men talk about these issues in quiet, honest moments, I can tell you this: prostate discomfort isn't just about aging. It's often about routine. And tonight, we're going to look at 5 common nighttime habits that many men over 60 do without thinking, habits that could be making prostate symptoms worse. You may think you're doing everything right, but these small actions, like what time you eat, how you sleep, or even what you drink, could be quietly irritating a gland that's already working overtime. Stick around until the end, because we're not only going to cover these 5 habits, we're also going to talk about gentle ways to reverse the damage so you can sleep better, feel lighter in your lower body, and regain control. Let's dive in. Let's start with a simple one: drinking too much water or any liquids too close to bedtime. Now, don't get me wrong, staying hydrated is essential. But if most of your water intake is happening after dinner, especially within 2 hours of going to bed, your bladder and prostate are under pressure during the hours when they should be resting. See, as we age, the prostate naturally enlarges. It tightens the space around the urethra and slows down urine flow. This means it takes longer to fully empty your bladder, and if you've added 2 big glasses of water right before bed, that task becomes even harder. Instead of enjoying restful sleep, your body is jolted awake sometimes 2, 3, even 4 times to deal with excess fluid. I remember chatting with a retired firefighter, Stan, age 79. He was proud of drinking a big glass of water before bed to stay flushed, but he also hadn't slept through the night in years. After adjusting to drink most of his water before 6 p.m. and sipping only lightly after dinner, he started waking just once a night, sometimes not at all. It wasn't a prostate problem, it was a timing problem. Try this: get your hydration in early, sip mindfully in the evening, and let your bladder rest overnight. Your sleep and your prostate will thank you. The second habit: eating a heavy, salty, or processed dinner late in the evening. It might seem harmless, just a frozen meal, a quick canned soup, or even some chips before bed. But what you eat and when you eat, it can quietly affect your prostate more than you think. Salt causes your body to retain fluid during the day. And here's the kicker: your kidneys often try to eliminate that extra fluid while you're sleeping. That means more nighttime urination, more pressure on your bladder, and more inflammation in the prostate area. Plus, processed meals tend to spike your blood pressure and disrupt blood flow, especially to the pelvic region, where smooth circulation matters. I spoke with a gentleman named George, 74 years old, widower and living alone. He told me he didn't drink much at night and couldn't understand why he was still waking up 5 times to pee. Turns out, his nightly dinner was a sodium-packed frozen lasagna and a bag of pretzels. Once he switched to a lighter dinner, steamed greens, lean protein, and a baked sweet potato, his body calmed down. Within days, he was waking up only once per night. Simple food swaps can lead to powerful results. Try eating dinner a bit earlier with fewer processed foods. Your body will settle more easily, and your prostate won't be dealing with the chaos while you sleep. Number 3 might surprise you: ignoring the urge to urinate in the middle of the night. Let's be honest, it's tempting. You wake up, feel a slight need to pee, and think, maybe I can wait until morning. You turn over and try to fall back asleep. But what you may not realize is that holding urine for too long, especially with an aging bladder and prostate, can cause pressure to build in ways that make things worse. When your bladder stretches overnight, it pushes back not just on itself, but on your prostate and urethra. And if this becomes a pattern, the walls of the bladder can become less elastic, making it even harder to fully empty later. This residual urine becomes a breeding ground for bacteria and irritation. A man named Elmer, 83, told me he didn't like getting up in the middle of the night because it broke his sleep, but his mornings were worse: pressure, discomfort, and the feeling that something was left behind even after urinating. After just 1 week of listening to his body getting up when he needed to, he felt relief. Mornings were easier, and the pressure started fading. Your body is giving you signals. Don't ignore them. Getting up once or twice beats waking up to long-term inflammation. Next up, your sleep position. Specifically, sleeping on your stomach. Now, you might be thinking, how could that possibly affect my prostate? Well, here's the thing. When you lie face down, your body weight presses into your lower abdomen, bladder, and pelvic area all night long. That pressure doesn't just affect your muscles, it compresses internal organs, restricts blood flow, and adds tension to a gland that already has limited space to work. Over time, that mild compression contributes to swelling, slower drainage, and more frequent urges to go. Harvey, 76, said he always slept on his stomach with a pillow under his chest. He thought his morning tightness was just getting old. But when he switched to sleeping on his left side with a pillow between his knees, his lower belly tension dropped dramatically and his nighttime urination reduced in just a week. Small change, big result. If you're a stomach sleeper, try transitioning to your side. Left side is best for circulation. Add a pillow for support. It might take a few nights to adjust, but the relief is worth it. And finally, skipping your final trip to the bathroom before bed. It sounds so small. You're comfortable. You don't feel the urge. Why bother? But here's the truth. Going to bed with a partially full bladder, even if it doesn't feel urgent, creates subtle, sustained pressure throughout the night. This can irritate the bladder walls, trigger low-level inflammation, and in men with an enlarged prostate, make it harder to fully empty in the morning. Not to mention, it increases the chances of waking up early in your sleep cycle. I talked to a retired teacher, Norman, age 70, who started adding one last trip to the bathroom as part of his nighttime ritual, brushing teeth, checking the doors, then using the bathroom, even if it was just a dribble. The result? Fewer nighttime interruptions, less lower belly tension, and better sleep. Empty before you rest. It's not about how much, it's about telling your body, we're done for the day. Too many men assume their prostate symptoms are just part of getting older. But sometimes the real cause isn't your age, it's your routine. Tonight, we looked at 5 habits that quietly add stress to your prostate. Drinking too much fluid before bed. Eating salty or processed dinners. Holding in urine during the night. Sleeping in positions that compress the pelvis. Skipping the bathroom before sleep. Individually, they seem harmless. But together, they create tension, swelling, and sleep disruption. The good news? You don't need a new medication. You don't need a drastic overhaul. You just need to give your body what it's been asking for all along. A little more space, a little more rest, and a little less pressure. Which of these habits resonated with you most? Which one will you try changing tonight? Leave a comment and share your thoughts. I'd love to hear your story. Even a small step can make a big difference in how you feel tomorrow morning. If you found this helpful, give it a like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need it. Your support helps us keep creating videos that empower, inform, and uplift. Thanks for watching, and here's to better sleep, better flow, and better nights ahead.